At some point from November to March in the winter months in Woodstock, Vermont, visitors and residents gaze up at the ridge line of Mount Tom and see a bright shining star. Its warmth and sparkle is a beacon and offers a sense of belonging and a glimmer of hope. This is the Mount Tom Star. The Woodstock, Vermont Rotary Club is in the early stages of fundraising to place a new star on Mount Tom, to replace the 80-year-old wooden star with a new star made of steel and designed to last a century. Hello, I'm Charlie Rattigan, Chair of the Board of Woodstock Community Television and Executive Director of the Vermont Institute of Natural Science, VINS, and I'm joined today by my friend Norm Frates. Good morning, Norm. Nice to see you.
Good morning, Charlie.
Norm is a VP at Mascoma Bank and a member of the Woodstock Rotary Club, and he's heading up the effort of fundraising to make the star possible. Well, Norm, welcome. Why don't we start with the question, how come Rotary's involved in this and a bit of the history of the star?
Sure. Well, thank you for having me on here, Charlie. So the star's got a great history, and I'll just give you a brief overview of its history. The star was actually built originally in 1943-44, and it was just a cross, and it was to welcome our soldiers back from World War II. And then it was put together by our local electric company called the Woodstock Electric Company, and 3 or 4 businessmen, and they headed up the project and got the cross running. And then in the late 50s, they decided to actually add a star to in the same place. And in the late 80s, the Woodstock Rotary Club was given the stewardship of the star, and so we've been taking care of it ever since. And I have been involved with stewarding the stars for 10 or 11 years.
So you have recently been up there, and you go up every year, of course, and you've made some discoveries this year that are motivating you to do something new.
It's a wooden structure, and it's really amazing that the actual telephone poles that are there that are holding up the star have been there since the late 50s. So, but the cross beams and the actual parts of the star we have replaced over the years and replaced light bulbs. And actually, interesting enough, 6 years ago we converted all the lighting to LED, which dropped our monthly electric bill from $450 a month to $27 a month, which allowed us to keep the star on longer. The star is now on through all of daylight savings time. It used to be just through the holidays for about a month and a half.
Yeah. So I know that the star has tremendous meaning to the people of the community. And I personally, because I work in Quechee, when I drive home in the evenings during the winter months, the star is up there for kind of as a beacon that you're getting close to home. So, and I know you have similar experiences.
Yeah. So actually, my family moved here in 1968, and I can remember as a child just thought that was the coolest thing, that we had this star on the mountain that everybody could see. And later on in life, coming back from college, I can just remember coming down Route 4 and looking up, and you see the star. It's the first thing you see when you're coming home for the holidays, and you're home.
So I know we're not the only ones who have these relationships with the stars. You've talked to other people. What do they say?
Yeah, it's been. I've had interesting feedback. Everybody loves the star, and so I've been just asking all the people that I've been talking about the renovation of the star to give me a quote that they feel about the star. And here are some of the quotes that they say. The star is a beautiful symbol of our community. The star is part of our town's identity. The star, I feel, is a symbol of peace, community, and unity. The star is welcoming to all, especially to all of our residents. Brightens our skyline during the darker days of winter. I thought that was a good one.
Yeah, I like that. Well, I know also that Jim Giller, who's involved in this, has done some video clips of testimonials, and why don't we just take a minute to see a couple of those.
Hi, I'm Jeff Kahn. I've owned Unicorn here for 45 years, and I've lived in Woodstock for over 50. And I love the star on Mount Tom. And when I'm out of town and I'm coming back in, talk about wish upon a star, I see that up on the hill and I know I've come home. I love it. I wish it was on year round.
Hi, my name's Norm Frates. This is my lovely wife, Yvonne. We've lived in Woodstock for over 50 years, and the star has meant so much to us. And I recall my kids coming home from college, and they would always say, that star was such a greeting to us, and I'll never forget it, they tell us. They'll never forget it. So it's a wonderful, wonderful tribute to a great thing.
The star means so much to me. When you come into town and you look up the mountain and you see the star, it just means so much to me because it's a welcome home. It welcomes us home into this wonderful, wonderful town.
Hi, I'm Olivia Martin.
And I'm Jeff Martin.
This is Elsie and Pippa, and we moved to Woodstock about 6 years ago. But actually, before we moved to Woodstock, Jeff proposed to me at the Woodstock Inn. So it always had a really special place in our hearts, and we were lucky enough to get to move here. And after he proposed, we actually hiked up to the top of Tom, but I never realized there was a star up there. And until the very first winter that we moved here, I think you had driven home from work.
Yeah. I had just driven home from work, and as I was coming in from Route 4, just saw the star lit up on the mountain, and it was just an incredible experience and felt like it was welcoming us home.
Hi, I'm Carolyn Kimball. I live in Woodstock with my husband Charlie, and we raised our 3 children here. I moved to Woodstock in 1980 with my parents. I was 16 years old, and I landed in Woodstock. It was my 3rd high school. It was a very difficult time to start over as a young teenager. And one of the things that I did every day was I hiked Mount Tom on the Faulkner Trail. I didn't realize at the top of the mountain was the star until that winter when the star lit up. I had an incredible experience moving into this town. The teachers were amazing, the community was incredible. I had a job at the Woodstock Inn, and that transition ended up being the best transition in my life. This community is just incredible. And when that star lit up that December, I thought, wow, that just represents everything that is so special about Woodstock.
At some point, you've decided that it's necessary to replace the star. Why don't you give us some background on how that came about, and then tell us about the goals for raising money to actually accomplish it.
Yeah, so through the years, I've been working with 2 people, a local contractor, Rick Tobiasen, and a local electrician, Ryan Clark. And each year we evaluate what needs to be fixed, what needs to happen this year, so we can keep that star lit and without any problems all year. And this year we've got some work to do with cross beams, and it looked like it was going to be quite a bit of work. And we've decided that we're gonna fix what we need to fix now, but we really thought that if we want this star for another 100 years, we've got to do a full renovation, and that means taking the wooden structure down and putting up a galvanized steel structure that will last forever.
And so you also did an assessment of how much it's going to cost, and I think one of the reasons why we're having this conversation is to help explain the fundraising goals and how it will be accomplished.
So our estimates are it's going to cost us about $120,000 to do this. And so on November 5th, Sunday afternoon, we're having a cocktail party at the Rockefeller Room in the Woodstock Inn. We have 140 tickets that we have totally sold out. And at that point is going to be our kickoff for the fundraiser. We hope that that actual kickoff raises $15,000 to $16,000. And then we want, at that kickoff, we're going to explain what we're going to do and how we're going to raise the money.
So if I'm watching this and I can't go to the gala, what can I do?
Contact me. On the screen is going to have my phone number and my email address, and I can explain and walk you through the different tiers of the donations.
Well, let's walk through those different tiers now. Why don't you tell us what those are?
So there's 100 light bulbs on the star, and we're calling those each stars. And there's 4 tiers of donations, and it starts with the platinum star, and that's $5,000. The gold star, which is $2,500. The silver star, which is $1,000, and the bronze star, which is $500.
And so people who would like to do this, they could do it as individuals, or they could get a group of friends.
That's correct.
Is that correct?
Yeah, and actually we've heard from a couple of groups at the elementary school that are thinking that they might do some type of group donation to get everybody together to buy a star.
Yeah. So is there an idea that there'll be a plaque that also just identifies the people who have contributed? Yeah.
Yes, around the star structure is a safety fence, and it's actually a really nice safety fence. And so we're going to take and put a plaque on that safety fence, and we're going to put all the names of everybody that's donated.
Yeah. So that's fun, and it's a great thing to be able to walk up there and point out your name and say, "Hey, I made this possible." So, can you just give us your phone number and email address?
So my email address is norm.frates@mascomabank.com, and my cell phone 802-356-0177.
And you could also text that number too as well.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, well, thanks, Norm. This is a terrific thing that Rotary has been doing and is doing, and thank you for taking the lead in this, and thanks to Jim Giller too for what he's done. So we're signing off, and thanks for spending some time with us, and please give this some consideration.